In this video, we're going to look at how to simplify rational expressions containing exponents. In order to do this, we need to know the definition of division, which states that dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So what does that mean? Think back to middle school when you had problems that were like 1/4 divided by 5/2. Well, you were always told to keep, change, switch. So if this division gets changed to multiplication and 5/2 switches to its reciprocal, which means it does a backflip, it's 2/5, and then you would just multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2, and 4 times 5 is 20, and that would reduce to 1/10. All right, so we're going to put that into practice now with some expressions containing exponents. So the first thing we have to do is decide, what does the word simplify mean? The first thing is that we can have no like bases. The second thing is that we can have no negative exponents in our final answer. Okay, so let's simplify this expression. So first of all, I notice that this is multiplication. So to multiply, all I do is I multiply my numerators together and my denominators together. So I'm going to do this in multiple steps to show my work. All right, so my coefficient right here is a -1, so I'm going to do -1 times -2 is +2. I'm going to keep my x. This would be x to the first and x to the first. Keep my base, add my exponents, would be x to the second, and I still have a y to the -2. On the bottom, I have 4 times 6 is 24. Keep my base and add my exponents. 1 plus -2 is -1. Now, I'm going to start simplifying parts that are like. So 2/24 reduces to 1/12. The x to the second divided by x to the -1st means keep your base and take your top exponent minus the bottom. 2 minus -1 would be 3, so it's x to the third. And I'm just going to keep that y, actually that y to the -2nd would, has a negative exponent, so it would move to the bottom to become y to the second on the bottom. Now it is simplified because I have no more like bases and all my exponents are positive. All right, this one is a division problem. So my very first step is going to be to recopy this. I'm going to keep my first fraction exactly as I see it. The second fraction is going to be changed. I'm going to change this to multiplication, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm just flipping the top and the bottom. I'm not using any exponent rules. Reciprocal just means it does a backflip. Now I'm going to multiply straight across. Okay, straight across. This will give me -8 x, and then y to the 3 plus -1 would be 2. In the denominator, 4 times 2 is +8, x to the 5th. Now, anywhere I have like bases, I need to combine them. Well, first, -8 divided by 8 would be -1. Keep my x on the top. 1 minus 5 is -4. Keep the y to the second on the top. My final step would be the negative exponent needs to move. Now the -1 will stay on the top. This would be -1 y to the second. It's not a negative exponent, so it stays where it is. It's just a negative number over x to the 4th. Okay. This third one, pause the video and see if you can do it on your own. Hopefully you realize first that this is division, so you are going to recopy the first exactly as you see it. The second one, you do two things. Change it to multiplication and you multiply by the reciprocal, which just means numerator goes to the denominator and vice versa. It does a backflip. Now you're going to use your exponent rules and multiply numerator and denominator together. So in the numerator, -3 times 3 is 9. Keep your base, add your exponents, would be -5. Denominator, 5 times 5 is 25, x squared, y to the second. Now, I have like bases right here. So I'm going to clean this up. Top exponent minus bottom would be 9x to the -7th over 25y squared. I still have a negative exponent right here, so that needs to move back to the bottom for a final answer of 9 over 25 x to the 7th, y to the 2nd. Hopefully you got that one right. Okay, on your fourth and final one, pause the video, try it on your own. If you get it right, awesome. If not, watch each step that I do. Okay, so this is multiplication, so there's no need to flip anything. I'm just going to multiply straight across. This becomes negative 18 x to the negative 4th over 25 x to the 0, because negative 1 plus 1 would be 0, and y to the negative 2nd. Now x to the 0 is just 1, so I'm going to just get rid of that because I'd have 25 times 1 on the bottom. This produces negative 18 stays on top and 25 does not reduce. The y to the 2nd is going to move to the top and the x to the 4th goes to the bottom. I'm finished because I have no like bases remaining. At this point, I want you to switch to GMM and practice. You must earn 10 points this evening.